Good greetings and welcome to Sinclair and to our weekly Grand Rounds educational podcast for everyone out there. And today, what we're going to be discussing is the relationship between exercise and mood. However, before to do that, and I'm Jim Ellermeyer. I'm a behavioral health therapist at Sinclair, and today I'm joined by
Emily Reckner, PA student.
and
Amanda, also PA student.
And we also have a special guest here in our improvised studio. We have Mrs. Couch Potato.
Yeah.
So tell me about couch potatoes, Amanda. What do couch potatoes do?
Lay around.
Yes, they do. They lay around, and quite often couch potatoes complain, don't they?
They do.
They do. So, and today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about nature's mood enhancer. Nature's mood enhancer, and quite often you two obviously you're in the medical field. You're going to be physician's assistants, and many people when they come to a doctor's office, what do they normally want?
Medication.
Are you finding that?
Yes.
Medication. So can medication cure everything?
No.
So tell me a little bit about that, Amanda, about medication not being able to cure everything.
Just like most things in life, it's not just one factor to treat anything. There's multiple things in your daily life, in your mind and your body and everything that contribute to your physical well-being.
And quite often, here at Sinclair, we take a holistic view of a person's wellness. Everything in their circle, mind, body, and spirit. And quite often, medication can round the corners off the square and get you into a nice sense of roundness. And however, what we need to do is need to get that wheel rolling. And medication plus exercise often is synergistic. Could you tell me what synergistic is, Amanda?
Synergistic is, in theory, 1 and 1 can equal more than 2.
Sure. So we have medication, we have exercise, we have therapy, and they can often produce a sum that's greater than their parts. So tell me about some of the things that exercise can do for you, Amanda.
Exercise is proven to improve your brain health and also your mood. Exercise releases endorphins, which produces a feeling of well-being, as well as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports the growth of neurons in your brain. Another theory suggests that exercise helps normalize sleep, which is known to have protective effects on the brain as well. With depression and anxiety, exercise may boost a person's depressed mood person's outlook by helping him or her return to meaningful activity and provide a sense of accomplishment. In the short term, exercise can have a mood enhancement effect, and it's also shown in the long term to help alleviate depression, like long term. And with anxiety, one of the theories that is hypothesized is the flight or flight response, as when you exercise, you produce the same increased heart rate and perspiration and some of the symptoms you have with anxiety and the flight or flight response. So exercising regularly and becoming used to those symptoms will help you to deal with anxiety as well.
Sure. And part of that fight or flight syndrome that causes so much anxiety in people, Emily, is cortisol. Were you familiar with cortisol at all?
A little bit.
Could you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, when you are in your fight or flight system, your body will release cortisol, which in a short period of time can be beneficial, but over a long period of time, if you're constantly in that state, it can have negative effects and can produce the anxiety and the stressful feelings that you get. So it's like a balance issue with it, and that you need to have it, but you can't have too much of it.
Right, right. And of course, most everyone knows that cortisol is produced by the adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys. And what are some of the symptoms of anxiety? Do you know what some of the symptoms are of anxiety, Amanda?
Palpitations, increased heart rate, perspiration, sweating. Some people feel short of breath.
That sounds great. And also what cortisol does, it has an effect on the your digestive system. It also has an effect on how you process glucose. Uh, people with excessive cortisol, excessive anxiety, are often have core body fat issues
And affects
also.
your metabolism as well,
You
yes.
sure? Sure. And also one of the things, Emily, is that quite often when people come in here, they usually come in here for one of two things, either anxiety or depression.
Yeah.
And many people that come in here suffer from low self-esteem and low
Right.
self-concept. Can you tell us what exercise can do about that?
Yes. Our exercise can enhance your mood, and it can give you a better feeling about yourself. And I think sometimes there's a quote from a doctor that I found: failing to exercise when you feel bad is like explicitly not taking aspirin when your head hurts. That's the time when you need it the most, and that's when you're getting the payoff. And I think that's really cool because often people don't see the effects of exercise right away, but the mood feeling you can get, people focus on the physicality of it, but if you focus on the mood and you get that happy feeling, it can keep you going for longer, and that can bring about a healthier environment for yourself and long-term benefits and increase your mood.
And there are people with physical ailments, diseases that exercise is recommended.
Right.
And that's one of them in particular is
Diabetes. I found people are more likely to develop depression who have diabetes, and people who have diabetes are more likely to develop depression. They're kind of like a hand-in-hand thing. And there was some research done on it where they placed adults with diabetes and depression on a 12-week exercise and cognitive behavioral therapy intervention program. Following, those who exercised improved in both depression and in their blood sugar levels compared to those in the control group. So it just goes to show that you can't just have the medicine, you can't just have one or the other, but when you combine all these things together, it can improve your whole well-being. And that's kind of what we like to focus on, is the whole body, the whole self.
sure. What we offer here at Sinclair is people life enhancements. How to enhance their life. We have no intention of changing a person. You're the inner pure spirit that you are. Offering enhancements to your life, and one of the you can write 100 prescriptions for exercise a day, Amanda.
I could.
You could, and the deal is, how do we get people to do it? What the motivation? The motivation to do that. There's an old saying that you can lead a horse to water and you can't make him drink. However, you can make him thirsty. And one of the ways that we can make people thirsty is to have people understand that they have choices in their life. Uh, did you ever think that I have to go to school tomorrow? Oh, I have to go exercise. I have to go to Aunt Mary's for Thanksgiving. Uh, so when you feel that I have to go to I have to go to the gym, how do you think that workout's going to be, Amanda?
I don't think it's a very good lookout, and you're not going to be happy when you're there.
So, and you've seen sailing ships, have you not?
Yes.
Okay. And when the wind's blowing with you, how are things going?
Good.
Yeah, well, and when the wind's blowing against you, uh, you've seen sailing ships. They can still move against the wind. And how they do that is by shifting their sails. So what we ask people is to shift their perspective just a little bit, to make choices in their life. Rather, I choose to exercise rather than I have to. And with that, we're going to.
Actually, we have a question.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sven asks, what's the fastest way to release or get rid of cortisol?
Any of you?
I'm not sure.
The fastest way to release cortisol is through some mindful meditation. It's through being present and aware, understanding that I'll ask you what time it is. What time is it? It's right now. And perhaps if you could adjust all of your clocks to Buddha Standard Time, which is the present moment, and be with your body, present and aware. One of the things that we help people assist them with is deep breathing techniques, to be with their breath, to feel their heartbeat, in a calming, slowing down, and being in the moment with themselves and their body and the world. That is the best way that I know to lower your cortisol. And the only way to lower the cortisol is to stop the adrenals from pumping it out. Get get into that out of that fight or flight syndrome. Be in a safe place with yourself. So we're more than happy that everyone joined us today for our podcast. We're happy that we have some folks out there that have enough interest to ask us a question. And we have the and today we'll be glad to answer any further questions that you have. So the idea is to get off the couch, get those legs moving at least, and get out and see the world. Get out and get into your environment.
To continue this conversation, please like us on Facebook, plus us on Google+, or follow us on Twitter under Sinclair Life. And keep an eye of any of these for our next live recording Mondays around noon to ask your own questions. You can also find this and other grand rounds at youtube.com/Sinclair Video and find audio versions on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. And please visit www.sinclair.com for more information about us and other articles about our great blog.
And today we're so glad that you joined us. We're going to give you a healthy prescription to leave you with: fruits and nuts and vegetables, unplug your television, and perhaps take up fishing. And for some real mindful fishing, fish without bait. Be good to yourself.